What's going on, everybody? Another Sharks game. Unfortunately, a Sharks loss to discuss. They were in this thing. They made it interesting in the final 4 minutes. Power play, then a little extra attacker time. Working on my audio here. I'll start the stream momentarily, but my headphones sound a little low, so let me work on that, and then I will kick things off. Be right back. Just like that, I fixed it. All right. I'm feeling ready. Are you ready? Don't forget to jump in the live chat. You have something you want to talk about, we'll get to it. Also, eventually, I will get to some voicemails. There have been some left, but I encourage you, anytime, to call into the number on your screen, 510-343-3640. Just leave a message. I'll play the best ones here on the YouTube channel. Okay. Day shift. Let's go.
Broadcasting live and worldwide. Here's Brody Brazil.
Heyo! Welcome to the conference room here at NBC Sports, where I feel like it's a bit of false advertising. Sharks night shift. This is the third game out of the 7 we've played this year where I'm doing night shift in daytime hours. We had the 2 Prague games. And now today, a 9:30 pregame show, California time, Sharks and Devils. And I like afternoon hockey, especially on a Saturday. It gives me this evening to unwind a little bit, prepare for tomorrow, have a date night with the missus. These are important things during a busy sports schedule. And then we'll do it all back again tomorrow, 3:30 against the Flyers. Let's talk about today. Some encouraging things happened. You only lose by 1. You gave yourself a chance to tie it in the end, 2 minutes on the power play. You pull Kakinen, you get the extra attacker. And so you're that close, but you're also kind of that far away. And I feel like at some point we can see all these encouraging signs, but at some point you want to start winning these games and getting some momentum for the team and getting the results. That being said, there's a lot of trends that seem to continue for the Sharks that are holding them back. Second periods holding them back. Lack of the ability to score on the power play holding them back. How about just inability to score holding them back? Their totals this year, 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 2, then 3, right, which was 2 games ago now, but that third goal was scored in overtime, and then 1 more in regulation today. So the Sharks have yet to get to 3 goals in regulation in a game. And if you look at their shots today, what did they end up with? I actually failed to write down the total, but getting outshot 10-6 in the first, getting outshot 20-8 in that second period. And you know what? I feel incomplete unless I have the actual game stats. 1 second here. Yep, you're just going to wait for me to pull up the old stats here. A lot of games going on today. A busy Saturday. All right, Sharks and Devils. Little game summary, little event summary. Oh, you want this up on the screen? You want me to share? Be happy to. All right, there we go. So, for the good guys, actually outshot the Devils 8-6 in the final period. I had 7 for them at some point. But see, it's right here. 20 shots in that second period. Now, we've had enough of that music. Okay. The other part about it is it's not just shots, right? I mean, that's clear to see here that the Devils had more just chances on the 4x6, but also more puck possession. Like, that's part of it. Shots translate to how much possession you had. It also translates into the usual correlation of grade A chances, right? Like, the more total shots you have, the more grade A scoring opportunities you had in this game. To be perfectly honest, if I look at the Sharks' 22 shots on goal, 3 grade A chances, maybe 2. It's about it. And off the top of my head, honestly feel like for the Devils, there might have been 5 or 6 or 7. If Kaapo Kähkönen doesn't play like he did today, this is not a 2-1 game. Sharks goaltending has been keeping them in the games, and the offense has just failed to equalize or take a lead or maintain a lead. It's frustrating. It really is. And you look at the goals for New Jersey today. One was off a turnover by the Sharks, a takeaway by New Jersey. It turns into kind of a one-on-none. And then their second goal scored on a second chance on the power play. So Dawson Mercer, second goal? Yeah, second goal of the season. Bottom line is, for San Jose, they got to put up a crooked number in a game and score more than 2 in regulation in a game. They have not done that yet so far this season. Again, they've also not scored in the third period. Power play couldn't get one today in its 2 chances. And also this, like, today was the first power play goal the Sharks allowed this year on the penalty kill. So 7 games in, right? And today was the first power play goal you allow. That's something to hang your hat on defensively. The problem is that power play goal turns out to be the game winner for New Jersey. You can't have it so that your PK needs to be flawless every single time out. Like, that has been good for the Sharks. 2 things that have been good for the Sharks: their penalty kill and scoring first. And today the Sharks didn't score first, and their penalty kill allows 1. Turns out to be the game winner. I will get to questions, comments, the live chat. One of those situations where I feel like I'm already repeating myself 7 games into the season. A lot of the trends that have been, and some have been good, right? More of them have been rough, but it's just a little bit of the same thing over and over. And I know they're capable of shaking it. We just haven't seen it yet. I would love to see Timo Meier get his first goal of the season. Been close. How many shots did 28 end up with today? 3. He was among the team leaders in shots on goal. Benning also actually had 3. Handful had 2. Harrington, Nico Sturm, Banker had 2, and Erik Karlsson had 2. So Timo Meier once again leading the way in shots on goal opportunities. Let me see. Timo also had 2 blocked and 4 missed the net. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total shots that he took. 3 of them were on net, 2 were blocked, and 4 just flat out missed. Sharks win the faceoff battle. Again, I just think that they are, here's the way to put it. They're doing enough things overall to win the games, minus being able to score, which is a pretty big deal. Like, I can't sit here and omit that and be like, well, that's great. It's just the one thing. No, because that one thing is a huge thing. And that one thing, it's got to come from a multitude of places. It has to come consistently. It's not coming at all from anywhere on any regular basis right now. So I'm not going to minimize and say, well, they're that close. I mean, you lost a 1-goal game today. So you are that close. But because the main issue is such a big issue, it's hard to really feel like, oh, you were right there. I mean, what if they score a power play goal late, or get a goal while Kähkönen was pulled there late, and they tie the game, and they get a point out of this? Then all of a sudden it kind of erases the scoring issues, and at least they get to 2. But I also want to say this. Even despite the results of this road trip so far, 5-2 loss against the Islanders, 3-2 overtime win against the Rangers, today 2-1 loss against the Devils, even despite all that, if you go out and win tomorrow against the Flyers in the second half of a back-to-back, You basically come home with 2 wins, 2 losses, 4 out of a total 8 points. And it's not that bad. Like, all of a sudden, that's a respectable road trip. So at some point, you are looking at results, and that's the hard part. Results matter more than anything else, despite some of the encouraging small signs that we've been seeing. Hopefully some of that makes sense. I also feel, and we did this segment in our pregame, there have been clear things to see with the Sharks that are good trends, some bad trends, like and think you would like to hope they could change. And then there's some ugly trends, like, again, second periods. Look at today. Sharks have now been outscored 16-4 in second periods this season. It was the second period where all the scoring happened. It was why the Sharks lost today's game. Let's get to the comments. Brandon here says, "Stop me if you've heard this one before. Sharks are really bad in the second period to the point where they might have had more wins if they just showed up." I mean, at first intermissions at this point, I'm always like, okay, like today, Sharks played a respectable first 20 minutes. Nobody scored. Shots were a little bit favoring New Jersey. San Jose took 2 penalties that, gave the Devils more shots, and I don't think they were happy with that, but they cleaned things up defensively after that. Anyway, after 20, all right, let's see where this goes. But you're kind of like cautiously, you're interested about what's going to happen in the second. Today, second period cost them the game. They worked. They got the hard work from Capo. They got chances. A lot of good to take from this. A couple mistakes that were amplified simply by a lack of scoring. And that's also true, Tim. I can't focus on anything besides that right now. It's so distracting. You're right. Everything right now, like every mistake that you make, is more costly because scoring doesn't bail you out of it. Normally, you make a couple mistakes, but you scored 3 or 4 goals. Okay, the mistakes don't count. Right now, every defensive mistake counts because the goals aren't bailing you out of it. It's a deep confliction this season between wanting the Sharks and Cuda to be successful and hoping the Sharks just keep losing to get Bedard on the Sharks or Cuda. Well, first off, any team that drafts Connor Bedard is putting him on the NHL roster. And I just want to tell you right now, Brandon, if you watch Sharks pregame live tomorrow at 3:30, Hannah and I are doing a full segment on Connor Bedard. There's a lot to it. I've actually, you want to see how a segment is born? You won't be able to read my writing, but it's me literally brainstorming the directions we're going to take it. How about the game notes, by the way? Pretty sloppy today. I write like a doctor sometimes. Oh, wow. Rauno? I apologize for the probably terrible mispronunciation. I always get nervous about that. Rauno? Greetings from Estonia. Like, that's the part I want to get to. Thank you so much for watching Half World Away. That's very awesome. It's Saturday night out there in Estonia right now. Tim says the second wasn't horrible. It wasn't perfect, but they've played far worse seconds lately. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, even last game, that's where the Sharks allowed their goals to the Rangers, and you're like, well, they survived it. I mean, today, 2-1, yeah, that shouldn't sink your ship, but the second period is costly because you didn't score in the first or the third, right? Totally understand. Happy for Kakinen. If your first line has combined for 1 shot on target until midway of the third period, it's not enough. No doubt. At this point, see, and that's the thing. If the Sharks tonight put up, 41 shots, couldn't win the game. Okay, then you're thinking they're snake bit, but they're not generating the shot totals. They're not generating the grade A scoring chances that they need right now to stay competitive. Did I get that right? Did I get your name pronounced right? I don't think you could have seen that quick. Hopefully I'm not far off. All right, let's see here. Big Bird says New Jersey's not that good. I don't know. 3-2. Yeah, but they're a 500 team at least, right? Funny LeBanc scored. Well, LeBanc? That's not how you spell it, Big Bird. I have to say, it's an interesting human story that Kevin Labanc got scratched against the Rangers, and then today, I keep wanting to say today, responds with a goal. I love the fact that he and Nico Sturm were on a 2-on-1, and Sturm was wide open for the pass, but Labanc said, I am shooting this. And it's that kind of, I hate to say, but selfishness I feel like the Sharks need a little bit more of right now. Take the shot. Let's see what happens. It's maybe more selfish to try and make the pass that doesn't work, and you're trying to be too good of a teammate, and you're trying to have no, just shoot. Maybe Sturm will get a long rebound or a rebound that kicks his way if that's what's going to happen. But take the shot. Make sure you put it on the goalie and then see what happens. Everybody's talking. See, and that's why we're gonna cover it tomorrow, because every time I do a live stream, every time I'm on Twitter, I see a Bedard comment. And there's so much to this other than struggling and thinking that automatically you're in a good position, or that he is the absolute right player for you. And then he's 17 right now. We're talking. I don't even want to talk about a 17-year-old here on the live stream. It's crazy, but we will. We'll do it tomorrow in a hopefully in a valuable way. There's Tim saying Bedard is not the answer. Dylan says Bedard isn't the answer. Drafting and developing multiple layers, including Bedard, is the answer. Connor McDavid won't win a cup for the Oilers alone. I think that is well said, Dylan. And that's kind of what I've been saying. What has Connor McDavid done with the Oilers? I mean, I know they've had success, but not the ultimate success. And he's surrounded by a decent cast of characters, you'd have to say, but maybe not the right complement of players or the full complement of players. But the Sharks absolutely need elite goal scoring, and Bedard fits that bill quite well. Let's see my comments skipped. I hate when that happens. When do we admit the hole is too deep to dig ourselves out? It depends, Dalton. Like, what are you trying to establish as level ground? What do you think the Sharks' bar is for this season? What do you hope they become? What's the goal? Certainly everybody knows about the playoff streak of 3 years. They haven't made it. That's never happened before. But at 1-6 already, 2 out of a possible 14 points. You're right. It's very tough to recover from something like this and to ultimately get to a postseason. As that saying goes, you can never qualify for the playoffs like in your first 10 or 20 games, but you can disqualify yourself, essentially, not entirely, but essentially. McDavid will get a cup at some point. Rarely do actual generational players miss out on it. Yeah, and look at Sid, even Ovi for that much. Totally agree. There should have been a penalty when the Devils goaltender kicked the goal off when there was a clear scoring opportunity for Timo Meier. I don't know, just my opinion. Yeah, and the Sharks were it was a late whistle too. The Sharks, the net was already off before the Sharks even came in the zone. So I have to go back on that. I didn't see how exactly it happened. I was doing something else at that moment. Being from the UK, I wish the Sharks visited New York more. Watching the Sharks live at 6 p.m. on Friday evening is like a dream. Makes a nice change. Ooh, from the usual 3 a.m. struggles. Well, Elliot, I appreciate, and we all appreciate that dedication. You're across the pond, and you're tuning in. So that is amazing, and that is very much appreciated. It's in the same way that I wish European and English soccer. I wish they could play it earlier, like real early on a Saturday. No, sorry, real late. Yeah, that's what I'm asking for, on a Saturday night. That way I could wake up at 8 or 9 in the morning and watch the match live instead of, I already checked Twitter. I know how this thing ends. Now I'm not going to go back and watch it. Tough schedule ahead. Would be interesting if we start the season, 1-10. I don't want to think about that much. But again, it right now there is a hole. Right? And despite whether you play well or you don't play well, the hole is building, the hole is mounting. Anyone going to the CUDA tailgate? Wish I could go to the home opener, but couldn't make it out to it. Dalton, thank you for mentioning that. By the way, I believe the CUDA tailgate starts at about 3. It's 1:45 as we're here live now on Saturday. The game starts at 6. That's a great time, family-friendly time, family-friendly environment. The rink, it seats, 4,500. Like, this is the environment that the Barracuda have been needing for so many years. Let's be honest. If you've ever been to a CUDA game before, whatever you experienced at SAP Center, I'll say it now, it's just a little bit off. Like, you don't want a 17,000 seat building to host a team, that's going to draw in the several of thousands, and they can't really create that environment, that vibe. They're using like extra dressing rooms as a team. It just, SAP Center was built for 2 NHL teams to come together, have a big crowd, play a spotlight game. That's what it was built for. Wasn't built for an AHL team, but TechCU Arena is built just for that. The environment, the vibe, the technology that they've instilled in the building, it's an AHL building, but it's got the bells and whistles of an NHL facility. Not to mention all of the different lounge and viewing areas and food options. I mean, I really hope that this opens up the door to a lot more people who, yes, already enjoy hockey. That's great. And since you're watching this live stream, you're probably one of them. I don't need to sell you on hockey. But all of your friends out there who have yet to come to a Sharks game, or they've been, but they don't go regularly. This is the opportunity to get in a lot easier in terms of the cost, to have a lot of the same luxuries, to still get hooked by the game, and really right now, to watch a Barracuda team that should be filthy, right? Look at the players you have on that roster. And strategic, yes, because we can talk about this more in a second. I don't know that you want all those players up with the Sharks. First off, are they ready? You don't want them till they're fully ready, but let the Sharks kind of get through the struggle before you make a transition into a new wave. I don't want to rush this at all, at the risk of, maybe prior experience. So anyway, going back to the Barracuda as a product, I mean, something great to enjoy right now. Brand new home, exciting players. You can be there at the start of this place. Plus, not to mention, what is this building going to become in the next 5 to 10 years with different hockey tournaments at the youth level? I mean, they've now talked about, could World Juniors be hosted in San Jose? You have 2 world-class facilities a couple miles apart. So I think the answer is obviously yes. But I am really excited about this opportunity for the building, for the region, for hockey, fans. It really is exciting. Let's see what else we got here. Sharks power play has been bad. Basically conceded another shorthanded goal. And it's amazing. The power play is not only not producing, but a lot of times, I mean, it's giving the other team momentum, or if not a goal, right? I'm trying to remember who was in the box. That was Svechnikov was in the box when Mercer scored. That's what that was. See what else we have here in the comments. Very tough next handful of games. Flyers, Las Vegas, Leafs, Lightning, Panthers. 5 of the next 6. Could be a tough week or 2 for us Sharks fans. Oh, Caker Girl checking in. I just skipped ahead on the comments just to see that. Good to have you, Caker Girl. Oh, and I finally got Rauno's name right. Well, that's good to know. Makes me feel better. A Stanley Cup contender today, has 6-star forwards, 3 excellent D, a goalie in the top 10 in the league, and a top coach. Sharks have 3-star forwards, 1 excellent D, and Reimer, almost top 10er, short. Look, I'll say this. I mean, and it's a weird evaluation because, Kaapo Kähkönen did a post-game interview today, and the nature of the interview is generally pretty good for him. He only allowed 2 goals, 1 on the power play, another on a 1-on-none. That's it. He held the opponent to 2 or fewer. That's the goal, right? That's what you have in mind. And yet, at the same time, the team doesn't accomplish what they set out to do, win the hockey game. So it's tough in an interview to pump him up or to have him feeling great about it, because ultimately the bigger picture didn't work out. And that's kind of the catch-22 of what's happening here and now. There are some things positive. There are signs of light and life, but certainly not enough. And some of the other things keep repeating themselves, specifically in the scoring department. And if I see tank hard for Bedard one more time, man, we'll get to that tomorrow. I hope everybody likes the segment that we'll do on Pregame Live. I don't know if y'all have talked about this yet, but I think that Timo got some great chances at the end. Yeah, how about the between the legs shot? Unbelievable. That was really like his only chance in that situation of even getting a shot off on Mackenzie Blackwood. That was pretty nifty. I don't know that he had an angle or a way to score it, but at least he put it on net. He made it interesting, right? And Timo now through 7 games, I think they said did he have 25 shots entering today? And so 3 more today on net, so 28. So he's averaging 4 shots on goal a game. He'll get there. They'll happen. And it's not like he's not playing poorly. But at the same respect, I mean, that's the overall theme of the Sharks right now. Not a lot of goals. Power play's not doing it. Top 9 forwards aren't there doing it for you. Yeah, and there you go. Kähkönen did a pretty good job. 2 or fewer. 2 or fewer used to be the secret for success. But when you can't score, you unfortunately have to throw 2 or fewer out the window. I'm rattling through the Kaker girl comments here. She's on a roll. Even though there's a lot to work on, I think there's also some good things they can take away from. Oh, you said tonight. I agree, and we're just kind of caught in that middle ground right now. Today, terrible? No, we've seen like deflating. That Chicago game, deflating. This wasn't that. Still counts the same, but this wasn't that. The question is, okay, do you ultimately get the win or not tomorrow? Because if you get the win tomorrow, like I said, road trip becomes a non-issue. 500, whatever, 4 out of 8 points. Okay. Helps you move on. Windy City Hockey says seeing how the Sharks are playing right now reminds me a lot of what Chicago did at the start of the season last year. I mean, in a similar position, right? Just struggling big time. And with enough players that you wouldn't have expected maybe this much of a struggle. So there you go. All right, I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it a shift. I've been forgetting to play that. I'm 7 shows in, and that organ, the period-ending organ. You know what else is going to be a thing is when the Sharks play a bunch of home games. Now, they've had 7 total. They've only played 2 at SAP Center, but if they don't get everybody the tacos, right? You need 4 to get tacos. 4 goals. Tacos. Used to be pizza, right? In fact, it's labeled here on my thing as organ pizza. Score some goals. Please get 4. Please get 4. Do this right here. Just do that. It's not that hard. Just do that right there. I'm funny. Oh, nope. Can't play the song. I don't want to get busted on the old copyrights. Okay. That actually does it for the live stream. It's still over. But thank you so much for watching. Back here tomorrow with another episode of night/day shift. Although I guess it will be more of a night game tomorrow. 3:30 pregame live. And again, I'm telling you, tune in right now for our Connor Bedard expose. Me and Hannon, we're going there. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. If you go out to TechCU Arena, take a lot of pictures, tag me on them. I'll retweet a bunch of them. Hope everybody has a good time out there. All right, be safe. Good night. See you tomorrow.